Paley's argument for intelligent design is even more relevant today. The argument and reasoning must be understood within the context of modern science and philosophy. Let's address this by exploring the enduring relevance of Paley's design argument. How scientific discoveries since 1802 have actually strengthened, rather than weakened, the case for design. Responding to philosophical critiques and showing how modern developments align with Paley's core insight. 1. The enduring relevance of Paley's design argument. William Paley's famous watchmaker analogy from his 1802 book Natural Theology argues that just as the complexity of a watch implies the existence of a watchmaker, so too does the complexity of nature imply an intelligent designer. While the analogy was made in the context of 18th and 19th century science, the core principle of the argument, that complexity, purpose, and order in natural systems point to intelligent design, remains relevant in today's discussions about cosmology, biology, and the origin of life. Complexity and purpose still suggest design. Paley's core insight. Paley's argument is rooted in the idea that complex systems that exhibit purposeful arrangement, such as a watch, cannot arise by chance and must have a designer. This insight remains relevant today, especially in light of modern discoveries about the fine-tuning of the universe and the complexity of biological systems. Even though we now understand the mechanisms of evolution and natural selection, the underlying question, why there is purposeful order in the universe and life, still stands. Application to modern science. The analogy can be applied to the information-rich structure of DNA, the fine-tuning of physical constants, and the irreducible complexity of biological systems. These modern examples show complex, specified information and purposeful arrangements that strongly suggest intelligent causation, just as a watch does. The existence of such order in nature still points to the need for a rational designer. 2. How modern scientific discoveries strengthen the case for design. The objection claims that science has made many discoveries since Paley's time, implying that these discoveries have undermined his argument. On the contrary, modern scientific discoveries have actually provided more evidence for design, particularly in fields such as cosmology and molecular biology. The fine-tuning of the universe. Modern cosmology. One of the most compelling scientific developments since Paley's time is the discovery that the universe appears to be finely tuned for life. The physical constants of the universe, such as the strength of gravity, the electromagnetic force, and the cosmological constant, must fall within very narrow ranges for life to exist. The probability of these constants taking on values that allow for life by random chance is extraordinarily low. This fine-tuning strongly suggests that the universe is designed with purpose, reinforcing Paley's argument in a modern scientific context. Anthropic principle. Modern science has uncovered how delicate the conditions are for life to emerge. This supports the idea that the universe is not a random occurrence but the result of intentional design. The fact that we live in a universe that allows for complex life to exist is consistent with Paley's view that purposeful complexity points to a designer. The information-rich structure of DNA. Molecular biology. The discovery of the double helix structure of DNA and the realization that DNA functions as a code for building proteins and maintaining life is one of the most significant scientific discoveries since Paley's time. DNA contains a vast amount of specific information, a kind of genetic language that directs biological processes. Just as Paley's watch functions according to a design, the information-rich sequences in DNA also suggest the presence of an intelligent mind behind the origin of life. Information and design. The presence of information in biological systems raises the question of where this information comes from. In all known cases, information, whether in human language, computer programs, or biological systems, originates from an intelligent source. This aligns with Paley's argument that complex, functional systems, like a watch or DNA, point to the existence of an intelligent designer. 3. Responding to critiques. Paley's argument has been subject to philosophical scrutiny over the past 2 centuries. However, many of these critiques focus on mechanisms, like Darwinian evolution, rather than the deeper question of why complexity and order exist in the first place. Here are some common critiques and responses. Objection. Natural selection explains biological complexity. Darwin's challenge. One of the most famous critiques of Paley's design argument comes from Charles Darwin, who proposed that natural selection could account for the complexity of biological organisms without requiring a designer. Darwin's theory is claimed to explain how species adapt and evolve over time through random variation and natural selection, seemingly reducing the need for a designer. Response. While evolution provides a mechanism for the diversity of life, it does not explain the origin of life or the fine-tuning of the universe. Evolution operates on pre-existing genetic information, but it cannot explain where the information in DNA came from in the first place. The fact that life exists at all, with its complex genetic code and biological systems, still points to an intelligent cause. Moreover, even evolutionary processes require an ordered universe with laws of nature that are finely tuned for life, a reality that Darwin's theory does not address. Objection. The argument is philosophical, not scientific. Philosophical versus scientific. Some critics argue that Paley's argument is more philosophical than scientific and thus doesn't carry the same weight as empirical science. They claim that the design argument relies on analogy rather than hard evidence. Response. While the design argument has a philosophical dimension, it is also based on empirical evidence, the complexity, order, and fine-tuning of the universe and biological systems. The fine-tuning of physical constants, the information content in DNA, and the presence of irreducibly complex biological systems are empirical facts that can be observed and measured. From these observations, we can reasonably infer the existence of an intelligent cause. The reasoning process is similar to how science infers the existence of unseen entities like black holes or quarks based on their observable effects. Conclusion. Paley's argument remains relevant in light of modern discoveries. In conclusion, while it is true that science has made significant advancements since Paley's time, these discoveries have not weakened the design argument, they have strengthened it. The fine-tuning of the universe, the information-rich structure of DNA, and the complexity of biological systems all point to the existence of an intelligent cause, much like Paley's watch pointed to a watchmaker. Paley's core insight. Paley's central insight, that complexity and purposeful arrangement in nature suggest an intelligent designer, remains a compelling argument, even in light of modern science. The mechanisms of natural selection and evolution do not negate the deeper question of why the universe and life exhibit such order and purpose in the first place. Scientific and philosophical reasoning. Paley's argument is both philosophical and scientific. It is based on the observation of complex, functional systems that require an explanation beyond random chance. Just as science infers the existence of unseen causes based on observable evidence, the design argument infers the existence of a designer based on the order and complexity we observe in the universe and life. Thus, far from being outdated or irrelevant, Paley's argument for intelligent design is supported by modern scientific discoveries and continues to provide a rational and compelling explanation for the intelligibility and order of the cosmos and the biosphere. Thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe, and comment below if you agree or would like to add your thoughts. If you would like me to respond to your comment, please make a level 1 comment directly below the video. I will respond to all polite level 1 comments even if it takes me a while, due to other commitments.